it for you!
Welcome back to the Profit Picks podcast. We're here to talk about two very mainstream boxing fights, and I have a bet for you that I want you to put in by the end of this video, and I want you to bet your rent on it. Alright? The only problem you're going to have with this bet that I'm giving you today is that you didn't bet more. Alright? Stay tuned for that later on. Now, the first fight, we got some news, is Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. Not canceled, but postponed, apparently. And maybe they're foreshadowing a date because Ben Askren versus Jake Paul has been booked for April 17th, I believe. And maybe they're postponing it so that both of the brothers fight on the same card. You know, that's something that I was thinking about. It'd be great to boost the pay-per-view. But then again, they're having two separate pay-per-views. It might cost them money. So I don't know what they're going to do there. I'm very curious. And, you know, I'm not going to be shocked if we don't get either of these fights. If either of these fights are canceled, I'm not going to be shocked. I'm going to be upset because they're both very, very easy money-making opportunities for sports bettors. All these fights, these two fights are bringing in all the casuals and their casual money. Alright? That's why Logan Paul opens up at, what, plus 1,500, plus 2,000 underdog, and he's slowly declining. Who's betting on Logan Paul? Who's so confident in betting against the best of all time who's never lost? I'm getting ready to pull the trigger the second I see Floyd Mayweather minus 700. I think it's around minus 1,000 or minus 1,100 right now. Keep that money coming in. Keep the fight on the sports book still, so I can pound that. And I'll be betting inside the distance. I'll be betting Mayweather by knockout. All that's easy money right there. Wait for Mayweather to drop close to minus 700. I don't mind minus 800. Lock that in. Bet your house on it. Take a loan out on your house and bet it all on there. Thank me after. You'll never lose a bet on Floyd Money Mayweather. I promise you that. Now, because it's a money grab. It's the easiest money grab, and they'll continue to do it for a couple more years until Mayweather just doesn't have the physicality anymore. But I do, although I don't like Logan Paul in this fight, I do like Jake Paul against his fight and Ben Askren. And what a mismatch. This is the biggest mismatch I've seen in a long time. If Ben Askren fought most of the people he fought in MMA on the feet, he'd lose. And that tells you a lot. Don't sleep on the fact that Jake Paul's training with Shannon, the Cannon Briggs, alright? He's teaching him a thing or two. That's why he can come out and slump Nate Robinson. Because he's training with real boxers. You don't think this guy's got the money to learn how to box? Ride that gravy train. And I don't know where these odds makers are. These odds makers are going to be starting to punch each other in the face. I don't know if this is a gift or what, but they opened up Jake Paul minus 150. I think it's going to be minus 180 by the time we're talking, minus 200 by the time I even post this video. But let me tell you something. This fight, I capped this fight at minus 600 at least, and that's me being generous. Minus 1,000 is kind of where I see it. Although Jake Paul's a little bit less inexperienced, he's more experienced when it comes to the boxing ring. I don't understand how people or bookies who are posting these odds at Ben Askren plus 110. Do they not watch the interviews? He's going in there for a paycheck. He said it himself. You want to pay me $100 million to go in there and box with you? Go ahead. Yeah, you're going to look like a fool. It's going to be the George Masvidal fight all over again, except might be dragged out a little bit over a round. And instead of a knee, it's going to be Jake Paul's fist. I'm very excited to make money on this fight, but some people are right. It is bad for boxing long term. It's starting to become a money grab here, money grab there. But watch this line in this fight skyrocket, minus 300 more. Get in on this gravy train. There's no way Ben Askren's going to win this fight. I am curious about the weight. Are they going to do it at 155, 170? So I don't care what weight they do it at. I love Jake Paul. But I will be leaning a little bit less towards the knockout in the first round. I don't know if you heard. Jake Paul signed and posted to his fans that he's promising a knockout in the first round. And I love this. I want to ride this so bad. But if Ben Askren comes in at 170, I think he's going to be able to last a little bit longer than people think. But if he comes in at 150, drains down, I will tail that first round knockout prop. And it's going to be pretty juicy. If they're opening up Jake Paul minus 155, see if you can get a prop on first round right now. If it's dog money, plus 200 or better, take it and run. Take that and run to the bank with it. I'll talk to you next week. Get these picks in today. And subscribe. We have our UFC free picks coming in within 3 days. We'll be posting them. So stay tuned. We have more winners for you. And I'll talk to you next week.